Hi guys! Today I'll be telling you a little bit about how some of the products of the hive are processed and put into the Be Good cosmetics. So this is my lovely show hive for the day. Dun dun dun! Just gives you a little idea of how products from here, the lovely beehive, go into the cosmetics. So to start with, I'll be talking about honey, this lovely miracle product here. So if you look at the hive here, this top frame is called a super frame, and that is where honey is stored. So bees bring in nectar from plants, so they go out, fly out, get nectar from the plants and transport it back to the hive and put it into a frame. They then reduce the water concentration of the nectar, add special enzymes, and that's what turns it into honey. The way we get this lovely substance from the hive and into the cosmetics is we take the super frames off. We only remove the surplus honey, so we take the supers off. We take the wax cappings off the top of it and we spin it in a big spinner, and then we only filter it enough just to make sure there's no big bits, there's no bits of wood floating in there, no nasties, never enough to remove things like the pollen in it or any of the goodness. So then you get left with this lovely substance here, ta-da! And when you've got this, it then gets processed and put into your cosmetics. The fantastic thing about honey is that it's antibacterial, so it can help with things like if you suffer from bad spots or any problematic problems with your skin, and it's actually very good at drawing moisture into the skin. So if you struggle with dry skin, especially in things like winter, it'll actually draw moisture into your skin and give you that really radiant glow. A lot of some of the problems with skin is the fact that you sort of lose moisture in it quite easily. So honey brings that back, which is brilliant. Second product is this lovely wax here, and that is again produced by the bees in things like the super frames there and the brood box frames there. So bees basically build all their structure from wax. 2 weeks into a bee's life cycle, it gets its wax glands and it flakes off like chunks of translucent wax underneath its abdomen. It then chooses and forms the structures of the hive. If you put a box of bees into no structure already there, they still build up that hexagonal shape, which is very interesting. The way we process this, after we spun the honey out of the comb, we can then melt down that wax and we filter it just enough again to remove the big particles from it, and we get this lovely sort of clear yellow coloured wax here, and it smells so good. You need smell-o-vision, it smells really good. And the really beneficial things for wax is that it is a breathable substance, so it lets the skin breathe. So it creates a barrier against the skin, so things like the lip balms create a barrier against the skin, so it stops any environmental damage to the skin, it stops any moisture loss from the skin. And it's really good that a lot of it contains honey, so it will draw moisture into the skin but stop it escaping. So again, if you suffer from dry skin, that is a miracle cure. And finally, this lovely, very sticky stuff is called propolis, and this is a wonder ingredient. It is fantastic. It's made up of over 200 substances, lots of papers on it, lots of facts and figures and various things that I cannot remember off the top of my head, but it is brilliant. It's antiviral, antiseptic, antibacterial. It is a wonder product, and the bees use this to seal up any holes, any sides of their hive that there's sort of any access to, any problems. If there's a moth goes into the hive or anything that needs to sterilise, they'll cover it with propolis. And that is a lot of the time on things like the corners of frames, on top of frames, any sort of holes or dips in the sort of hive at all will be filled with propolis. And the way we extract this is very simple. We basically just scrape the sides of frames down, so when we see, because they do big chunks of propolis on various things, so if there's a big hole, there'll be a big chunk of propolis in there, and then all we do is just hand remove that, and then sort of it can be made into a solution and then put into your cosmetics. And it is brilliant for the skin, especially people that struggle with sort of spotty skin, anything like that needs the antibacterial properties. So that is the 3 wonder products that comes to the bees and into your cosmetics. Hope that helped. Thank you very much. Bye.